Uh-oh. Hey, wanted to show you this little device that I made, and what it is a small carbonating unit that I can get a head start on my carbonation when I have an extra keg and it's in the fridge. Our kegerator back there only holds 2 kegs, and I typically have, well, what I like to have is about 4 kegs, you know, in various stages of conditioning. So what I do is, when I have a brand new keg of beer, I'll chill it down to like 30-something degrees, right? And then I stick this thing on here. This is dry right now. And engage the coupler, and then I watch the gauge and shoot it full of CO2. Obviously, the gauge is so that we don't overcarbonate it, but my target is usually about 15 psi at 38 degrees or something like that, and what I'll do is give it a charge and then leave it set for like a week, and then I come back and put the coupler back on and check it again. If it's dropped, I'll give it a charge back up to 15 psi, and I keep doing that. It usually only takes like 3 times, and then I'll have basically pretty much a perfectly carbonated keg, so that when we empty a keg over here, I can just pull it out of the other fridge, bring it in here, stick it in there, clean up the coupler and the spear, and drop the coupler on there, and we're good to go. Basically, that saves us waiting like 10 days or whatever for the keg to carbonate by itself. So essentially what we have here is like just a standard micromatic coupler, right? And this is just one of these like little party carbonators, right? It's actually not a carbonator. It's marketed, right, so that you can stick it on a party tap, and instead of pumping air into it, you can pump CO2 into it. So pretty cool in that respect. They don't last very long, but you can probably put a charge on a couple kegs with one of these things, and they're only $1, so not too bad as far as the cost goes. What I did here was I took the check valve out of here, and what this is, of course, is a 0 to 30 psi gauge, a couple hose barbs and adapters and stuff, and what we have here is like I think it's a 1/4 inch piece of hose underneath another piece of hose, and basically just keeps it upright. We added this just so that we could tell if there was any beer coming up through the thing here, and I haven't seen anything like that yet. So it's a pretty cool little device. It works out pretty nice. Another thing that we use this for is like for purging the keg. You know, you basically fill your keg up to whatever the recommended level is, and then drop the spear in there, seal it in there, and then immediately you want to get all the oxygen out of there. So what we do is we drop this down on there, twist it, engage it, and then purge it, and then give it another charge, a small charge, and then purge it again, and then we'll finally like give it a full pressure, a 15 psi charge on the keg, and then leave it like that. And basically we just expel all the oxygen and regular air out of the keg. So pretty cool. I'm sure you could probably get one of those somewhat larger paintball tanks and do the same thing with it. Honestly, I've been thinking about putting a T right here and getting like a Blickman beer gun or something like that. So sort of double duty action as far as like the functionality of this goes, but it definitely works out pretty nice as far as like carbonating and purging. So hopefully, you know, it'll get y'all to try this too. Works out pretty good. Any questions and comments? By all means, follow up on the YouTube channel. Okay. Thanks. Hey y'all, I'm going to talk a little bit about this little device that I put together a few weeks ago. And basically what it amounts to is you have this little, what the hell is this thing anyway? It holds small little cartridges, CO2 cartridges, and we have an adapter here which comes on, or helps attach to the, let's take